I love them. And the body heat trope. Oh, I have been deceived. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy and here we like to read books, a lot of them. And today we are talking all things Danielle L Jensen because I'm actually going to a Fairy Loot afternoon tea on Saturday with the author and I'm trying to catch up with all of her books. So I have recently just finished The Endless War, which is book number 4 in the Bridge Kingdom series, which I absolutely love. I bought all of the new covers because I want to get the new covers signed. I do have books 1 to 3 in the old covers, but I'm just going to sell them on Vinted or something because I love these new covers. The Traitor Queen is definitely my favorite book so far. These are one couple, this is another couple, and then there's 2 more books that are going to be another couple. The main thing that I want to read, and I just started this morning, is actually A Fate Inked in Blood, because I think the Fairy Loot afternoon tea is to actually celebrate this series because the second book, second and final actually, because it's a duology, just came out. It is currently Wednesday and the event is on Saturday, so there's not much time to read essentially 3 books. This is not a necessity. I won't be mad if I don't read this by the time I meet her because it's not really what the event is about. It's more about this series. So I started it this morning and I don't know if you can tell, thoroughly enjoying it. It starts with a bang. It jumps straight in. You're seeing Freya, who is married to someone called Vagi, and she really hates her husband. He is touched by the god or gifted by the gods. Let me just see what the back says actually before I go ahead and spoil it. Trapped in an unwanted marriage, Freya dreams of becoming a warrior and putting an axe in her controlling husband's back. But those dreams become a nightmare when he makes a deal with their fanatical ruler and she's forced into a fight to the death. To survive, she must reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of a goddess's blood and magic that will unite their nation beneath the one who controls her fate. Okay, yeah, so that's basically what I was going to tell you. She does possess a drop of a god's blood. Believing he's destined to be king, the ruler binds Freya with a blood oath and orders his fierce but charming son to train her to fight to control her magic and to make sure no one lays a hand on her. But the greatest test of all may be resisting her forbidden attraction to the son of her enemy. So the attractions already began. They already have this funny banter between them and I'm not even 50 pages in. Like, for example, she was using lemon juice down below to stop her husband getting her pregnant, and Bjorn, it's like Bjorn, I think that's how you say it, I don't know. He says, how could you not tell that your wife tastes like lemons? And she was like, taste? And he smirked at her. So it's like the banter is beginning and it's very early on in the book. Yeah, I will be reading this. I'm hoping to devour it today and a little bit of tomorrow before I start on book 2. I love that this is a completed duology, so I can literally just bang it out and read it in one, because I feel like when I split series up, if I read a book and then the next one's not out, by the time the next one comes out, I've either forgotten most things or I'm not invested or I don't care as much. So I love binging series. It's the way that I feel the most connected to a character and a story. Okay, so I'm going to read for like an hour because we are going to the cinema tonight. We're going to see The Final Destination, which I'm so excited for. Or is it Final Destination? Not The Final Destination. Who cares? Anyway, so excited. I haven't been cinema in so long. So yeah, we're going to read for an hour. I'm also doing the audiobook. This is how I read most of my fantasies. I'll like tandem audiobook with the actual book. I feel like it really immerses me in the story and the world and stops my mind from wandering, because I cannot, when I'm just reading physically, my brain starts thinking, oh, you forgot to do that, or you need to go and do that, and tomorrow make sure you do that, and it's just so annoying. So audiobooks really help me to just stay focused. Guys, why is this so good? Why is this so fast-paced and entertaining, and the banter between the 2 main characters, I'm living for it. They're in the water basically and she's struggling to swim and he said, I've got you. And she said, and here I thought your only value was your good looks. And he goes, you keep telling me I'm good looking. If you aren't careful, I'm going to start to think your intentions towards me are less than honourable. She said, your looks aren't good enough to compensate for your tongue. He said, don't underestimate my tongue, Freya, especially in the dark. And the body heat trope, I don't know if that's a trope, but I'm making it a trope. I love it, you know, when they're like either getting out of water and they're cold, or they're in a cold setting and they have to be together for body heat. He was so cursedly warm and I snuggled closer, wanting to drain the heat from him into my numb flesh. There was a comfort in his touch, a safety that I'd never felt with a man before. It was because there was no demand in his touch. A touch entirely without agenda, beyond chasing away the cold. I love them. I love them already. I'm not even 100 pages in. I'm on page 97. I'm having fun and that's all that matters. My imagination drifted, painting an alternate world where it had been Bjorn I was wed to today, where it was Bjorn's bedchamber I'd walked into, where it was Bjorn who'd satisfied the lust in me that I'd always kept buried. It's so funny, like Danielle L Jensen has got me to like these characters and even root for them together when they barely know each other. It feels like they've only been together for like a day. And yet I'm already like giggling, kicking my feet and rooting for them. It's amazing. Oh my god. So it is the next day and I made it to page 218. So I'm hoping, because that's over halfway, that I can finish this up today. I'm loving this book. Like, I'm getting the feeling. It's so fast paced. It's like a page turner. I'm so invested. I've got questions. Like, it's just so good. Slow burn because they're not really doing anything because she is married to his dad. So there's this kind of forbidden love aspect to it and resistance and building tension and yearning, and I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if it helped that I went in with like super low expectations, but things are happening every chapter and it keeps leaving off on a cliffhanger, so it just makes you want to read the next one and the next one. Like, it was really hard for me to put this book down yesterday, and I can easily see myself flying through this, because if the first half of the book is how fast paced and like gripping, I can only imagine the second half of the book. I'm having a little bit of a dilemma though, because I don't know if I'm gonna read The Twisted Throne, only because I've got 2 days left of my Spotify audiobook hours and I hate wasting them. I might read a Fate. Bless you, baby. You okay? Look, say hi to the camera. Say hi, everybody. Yeah, so I think instead of reading The Twisted Throne, I might read A Fate Forged in Fire and use my audiobook hours on that book. What's wrong, baby? I can't hold you the whole time. Yeah, I love audiobooks. Nearly 90% of my reading is through audiobooks, whether listening and reading at the same time or just listening. Otherwise, I'd get no reading done because, of course, I work and I have kids and I have cats and it's just a lot going on. So, but yeah, let's go make this coffee and we can get reading. He's such, look at, this is how he is the whole time. He just wants to be on me, with me, constantly. Yes, okay. I think one of the reasons why I'm enjoying this book so much is because it's so heavily Viking fantasy based. There's a little bit of magic, of course, with the drop of the god's blood, but it's very much like taking land and conquering and retaliation and fighting back, and it's a very heavy fantasy political based book, which I really enjoy. It's not so heavy on the romance. There's like drips and drabs of romance, and what you do get is fun between the two characters, but it's mainly about Freya being sworn to this Jarl who is like a leader of a village, but he wants to become king of all of Scarland. Yeah, it's very interesting and very like political fantasy based, heavy, which I really enjoy. So I think that's why I'm enjoying this book so much, because there's just so many moving parts. Everyone's an enemy and it's just so good. Like, I'm so invested. I'm just so curious about this whole prophecy of Freya's fate. It is the next day and I've got so much to update you guys on. I finished A Fate Inked in Blood. 5 stars. I absolutely love this story. I love these characters. I had a feeling that this would work for me and I was right. Anything Viking, I'm just so familiar with the world. The ending, oh my gosh, the reveals. I did see one thing coming, but I like to kind of be proven right, so I wasn't mad that I guessed that reveal, but there was more reveals that I definitely had no idea. Like, it blew me away and I just had to start book 2. I started A Curse Carved in Bone. Yes, A Curse Carved in Bone today, and I am, let me put my coffee down. I'm currently on page 136, and guys, this is so good. I don't know if you're be able to tell because it's like red edges, but I've got so many tabs in here because the plot is just so gripping. Like, she's trying to fight her fate basically. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but there's just so much I want to say to people that have read this book. I love this feeling, you know, the 5-star feeling. I love this feeling of being obsessed with characters and invested in what they're doing and where the story's gonna go. But yeah, that's what I wanted to update you guys on. I am flying through this book. I'm hoping to finish this today because I do have to leave early tomorrow to meet Danielle. So yeah, the plans for the rest of the day is just to lock in and read this book. I've got about just under 300 pages left, so I can do it if I focus. Bjorn, you're being ridiculous. I'm on page 212 and it is going down. It seems to be the big final battle, but it's really early for it to be happening, like just over halfway. So I wonder what all of this is going to be because it's getting crazy right now. Bjorn's getting on my nerves a little bit because he's being so stubborn. Like, I understand what you want to do, but also it's for the greater good, do you know what I mean? And it's like, why must it get to a certain extreme before you do what needs to be done? No. Wait, what? Why did he do that? Oh no. Oh. The romance is definitely not as strong in this book because there's just so much going on plot wise. But now that this has happened, I don't see the romance picking up. I can definitely see a criticism of this being like there's not enough romance, and obviously based on what's just happened, I don't see romance coming anytime soon. So for a fantasy romance, it's not gonna be ticking those giggly, kicking my feet type of moments. Like, it's definitely not that. It's war and destruction and magic and a lot going on, which I'm loving. But if you are someone that really values like a lot of romance in their fantasy romance, this is definitely more like a romantic fantasy. So romance is definitely a subplot, but I'm really enjoying it. What can I say? Guys, I think I'm too gullible. I think I'm very gullible and naive, because if someone says, I vow, I swear I didn't do it, I'm like, they didn't do it. What is wrong with me? I think I trust people too much and I believe people too much, even in real life. But I'm doubting everything I thought I knew. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know what to believe. Ugh. I need answers. I need someone to start telling the truth, because they're both swearing that what they're saying is the truth, but you both can't be saying the truth, you know? What? What? Cursed? No. What's going on? No. I have been deceived. Oh my god. I didn't see that coming at all. I did not see that coming. Are you joking? I can't lie. The timing of this spy scene is not my favorite. Just not the time. With everything that's happened, it feels a bit icky. I almost want to skip it because it's just not, it's not the vibe right now. Like, this is not the time. That's over. Moving on. Hello my loves, I have a lot to update you on. I ended up finishing A Curse Carved in Bone literally 10 minutes before I got to the event. So I did end up finishing it, and luckily, because I was sitting next to Danielle, I had a lot to talk about. There was so much to deal with in this book. I loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It missed out on a 5-star for me because there was a particular spy scene that I didn't agree with being where it was, because it felt very icky. Something big had just happened. I think I said it in the vlog. So it missed out on the 5 stars for me because of that one particular scene. However, I still thoroughly enjoyed this series. It's definitely going down as one of my favorite fantasy romances. I really enjoyed that the gods played a bigger part in this story, and I enjoyed Freya's story story and this fight between morality and her power that she had going on. I do feel like the romance did suffer in this book. It wasn't as giggly and kick my feet as the first book, but there was a lot going on and the plot definitely took precedent over the romance. So it depends what you prefer in your fantasy romances, but I was okay with that. I would say I enjoyed this book mostly for the plot and the world. The first book felt very Viking, the second book felt very Norse mythology, very gods and goddesses, you know, but I wouldn't recommend reading this just for the romance because it's quite a very small part of this story. So yeah, I ended up going to the event and I met Danielle and I was sat next to her, so I got to have a good old yap about this series and how much I loved it. I was actually yapping so much I forgot to vlog, so I only got like 10 seconds worth of clips. I'm sorry guys, I was living my best life and enjoying the day, but I did go ahead and get my book signed, and yeah, it was a really good event and I had a really great time. Thank you so much Fairy Loot for having me. I'm also a Fairy Loot ambassador. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but if you do want to pre-order any like books from Fairy Loot, you can use the code Tammy10 and it will get you some money off. It doesn't work on subscriptions, only on pre-orders. So yeah, that is it for today's reading vlog. Let me just update you. I did go ahead and start A Fate Forged in Fire and I'm actually 186 pages into this, so nearly halfway through. It's not that long actually. I think it's less than 400 pages. Yeah, 346 pages. And I'm really enjoying this so far. Once again, very fast paced, focused a lot on the world, and the world is so interesting because it's a matriarchal society, so they believe in the goddesses and they believe in being ruled by a woman, and there hasn't been a queen in 100 years, I think they said. The doulas are the people that have magic, whereas there are non-doulas that don't have magic, and there's a rising religion called True Religion, and they believe in a savior and they believe that magic is like a demon or the devil, so they're trying to cleanse people of their magic and they're slowly taking over the continent. There's no romance so far and I'm nearly 200 pages in, so I'm not seeing the romance at all. There's been a couple interactions with the person that I think is the love interest, and a part of me is trying to, are they related? Like at one point he said you're no kin to me, but I'm thinking if you're both descended from the same, I don't know, I'm gonna need some clarification here. And they've got the same red hair, which is known for royal bloodline, and I'm just like, I know if you both share like a great granddad, by the time it, you know, gets down, it's quite diluted, but it's still related, do you know what I mean? So I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little bit questionable, but like I said, there's not even a whiff of romance right now, so I don't know how to feel about the romance. But yeah, I am reading this, currently reading this. I will let you guys know in a different video, probably my June wrap up, because it is now June and this is the first book that I'm reading. So in my June wrap up, I will let you know. Give this video a thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care, bye.